Last day of summer. Thank God. The last day of summer. Thank God. Oh my goodness. The last day of summer, and saying those two words, thank God it's the last day of summer, meant different things for me over the course of my life. Thank God when I grew up out in Long Island, where people used to go vacation and stay in the summers, there was madness out in the east end of Long Island. A place called the Hamptons was a place where it just got over inundated with tourists. Like I say tourists, it was really people from New York City would come out and visit and crash the area of the beaches, and it would be crazy. In fact, this day on Labor Day was one of the busiest days, not because everybody was at the beach, because everybody was heading back to New York City. And I remember as a kid, I remember sitting like this. Now I'm not in my front porch, but I'm in the back here and sitting in the front porch. And we remember because we lived on a main highway. The LIE was like literally Long Island Expressway, like right there, Montauk Highway. People would be going on Montauk Highway and they'd be driving by all day long, literally all day long. And we would just sit in the cars just going all like starting now. And it will be the same case. I don't know how it's looking in New York now. I haven't really paid much attention. But as far as driving back to the city, and there was cars just lined up, traffic. And I remember my parents when I was a kid. Now we were getting ready to go to school because typically up north, going to school after Labor Day, that's when school started. So I have a feeling much of the parents are saying, thank God kids are going back to school. But are they? So that may be I don't know if it's a thank God, because maybe kids aren't going back to school. I have one that's actually doing all virtual and one that's part-time in school and part doing their work at home in their high school. So I remember my parents, though, saying, thank God, like the traffic will slow up. Growing up, that's how it was. It was a season, the summer would be end from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and all in between would just be madness out where I grew up. And it would just be traffic and just craziness, and it was crazy. Even when I was growing up, working was crazy because it would be busy. And I can't remember. I was trying to think if we were open on Labor Day because, you know, it being a holiday weekend. But I do remember my dad he worked for himself. So he probably worked on Labor Day. Maybe not. I can't remember if we did the beach on Labor Day or what have you. But I know you think of this last day of the summer, and maybe you're not thinking, thank God. You're like, why can't, the summer went. For me, at least for our family, I feel like it was a blink of the eye and it's gone. Because we're all in this kind of mess, right? This whole kind of lockdown sort of transition mode. And what do we do? And even for a short period of time, the beaches were closed. That was before the summer hit, and figuring out school and all those things. And thank God, right? Thank God the summer's over. So it meant a lot different for me back then and then for my parents. But now I think of thank God in a sense, like, okay, summer is gone. And I say that, and I want to keep this light being a daily dose of encouragement. If you haven't watched me before, a couple hundred maybe, we're almost at 200 episodes, getting close to 200 episodes for pretty much the majority of the time. Once COVID hit here in the States, I decided to do something different to encourage. And thank God that I had a platform to be able to reach out to people, to connect with people on not just on Sundays and on Mondays and Tuesdays and different days of the week. And pretty much, it's been every single day for 160 days that I've come on here and done a live just to share. Honestly, there's a bit of self-interest for me because I know I enjoy being on camera for people. I enjoy connecting to people. I've gotten lots of messages back that people are being encouraged. And the way I see it is if I'm encouraging just one person, then I'm doing what I need to be doing. If more than one person, if you're encouraged and you can share this with one person, that's awesome as well. As far as what's in my DNA and what's in me is to help be an encourager, just to care for others. As a health and fitness coach, I do that more specifically when it comes to people losing weight, moms and dads, busy parents who are stuck and struggling with their health and fitness journey, and maybe they're not even on one. But right now we're going to talk about this last day of summer. And maybe you're like, why, Mark? Like, I want to have more summer. It's enjoyable. I want to have more beach weather. Right now I'm sitting in the backyard and the rain came down hard last night. My back is wet because I have this pillow that's behind me and it's completely soaked. But it's cooler out here. It feels really nice. It feels like there's a transition. And that's what I like to think of. Thank God. because there could be a really a good transition. We talk about like getting back to normal or new normal, whatever you want to call it. I just like to think of a new season. Think of maybe this summer going from summer to fall being this new season. Look, we have 4 months left. We have September, October, November, December. We're rounding about the 4 months, and you're like, gosh, I just want this year to end. No, if you think of it in that terms, then it's kind of like just like doom and gloom, right? I just want it to end. Why? For then 2020, is it going to be that much more perfect? Chances are there's going to be something else around the corner. So instead, if we can embrace maybe right now, like, hey, the summer is gone, like the year is almost gone, thank God, right? But also looking at this transition and saying, not so much thank God like we survived, thank God there's a new opportunity for 4 more months of this year. For, let's just say, 4 days, 4 hours, 4 weeks. And I want to encourage you in this daily dose today is, thank God. Today is Monday. I think of it being Sunday. Today being Monday and Labor Day. And think of with all the struggles and challenges we have going on, everything from politics to viruses to inequality to disagreements between people, arguments, all those, maybe some unresolved issues and challenges and struggles that you're having in your life right now. And think of, not thank God that we're going through them, thank God that God's probably using those, if it's to not help us grow in ourselves and maybe even in our faith, to also teach us something during that time, right? I think for me, I don't have a lot of patience. And honestly, one of the things I decided to do is to help me from being impatient and maybe speaking things that I don't, is to just do as much encouraging as I can. Because when I'm starting to fill my mind, knowing I have to come on here every day and provide encouragement, and for my coaching clients and make sure they're on the right path, if I'm focused on that, then it doesn't give me much time for the other things to get in. The other garbage, the garbage like watching all the news and doom and gloom, or listening to people that are just bitter and angry and frustrated. Hey, those are all feelings and not to be discounted. But you can focus and fill your mindset with all those things, all the things that are problems in your world, or you can focus on the things that you can control in your life. And I can say you can control what's in here. You can choose to turn off the news or keep it on. You can choose to stay around people who are going to pull you down, or be around people who are going to pull you up, to raise you up, to encourage you. That's who I want in my life. That's what I want in my life. But at the end of the day, I know the number one person who's guiding my path is thanking God. That's where this gratitude, one of the things I can share with you going into this next 4 months is, how about just having an opportunity and understanding this attitude of gratitude. I'm so grateful. I've floored, like I sometimes hate to say this, it's not to brag, and I'm so grateful that God took me through the journey He's taken me on years ago that I really struggled and challenged with, because I look at that now as the opportunity for me to grow and to encourage others, and to use my past, use my struggles, use my disappointments, use my even from my health and fitness journey to my emotional and physical baggage. And it's not to give you, sorry, I had a little piece of fur. It's not to spew it all, but to know that I'm not just a health and fitness coach. I'm actually a human being with real feelings, and I have emotions, and I have struggles myself, and I screw up as a parent, and I mess up as a spouse and as a business person. Like, I'm real, like I'm legit. How it's helped me, like literally transformed the course of the last year and a half for my life. Now, the last 10 years, God's been moving in me and transforming in me. And I know maybe for some of you as well, but I can tell you this, one of the things I'm such an advocate of, not only because I'm a coach, but because I have coaches in my life. I have coaches in my life, mentors in my life, people in my life who are pushing me to be my best, to encourage me to maximizing my full potential on all levels. And even if it's just for you listening to me right now, and maybe it's 10 or 15 minutes a day to get an inspiration and encouragement, some motivation, I know it goes beyond that. You have to take action. Because for me, it required me to take action. Now, you can listen to all the motivation. You can listen to all the encouragement. You can listen to all the inspiration. You can get all that, like, yes, let's do this. But if you don't do it, it ain't gonna happen. The difference between having, like, to have a coach and have a mentor versus just to think of you're going to rely on motivation for stuff, health, business, life, challenges, relationships, all those types. When you have people that can help guide you, it really removes so much of the aggravation. And even if you make the wrong choice, wrong decisions, having somebody to help guide you, to provide the clarity you need. And that's what I do. Now listen, there's 4 months left in this year. You have a whole, like, literally 120 days that you could change. Now, I'm not talking about everything. Now, again, between business, I'm not a business coach. I'm not necessarily a spiritual coach, but I could probably classify myself in starting, because I do help people with spiritual journeys because they ask. But as a health and fitness coach, an online coach, I would say if you're jacked up, if your body and your health is off track and you're stuck, and maybe you're just like in the middle of a struggle and battling, like you're not thanking God because the summer's over, and you realize that not only did you put on the COVID-19, you still had the 30 pounds that were on your body before this lockdown, 30, 40 pounds. And then you put on another 20 pounds of COVID-19. And then now it's been 6 months later, 7 months later, and you're like, my health is a disaster. And I'm almost too, and here's the thing that I think people are, there's people out there I know, and this may be you, is you may be too embarrassed to reach out to a guy like me to say, I've let myself go so far, I don't think there's any hope left for me. And I just want to share with you that there is hope. You can have hope. If you woke up today and you have a heartbeat and you have breath in your lungs, you can see improvements. You can make progress. The only day you can stop making progress is the day that you don't have a breath, the day you don't have a heartbeat, the day that you don't wake up, right? That's the day that you don't have an option, right? But today you have an option. Today you have a choice. There's a lot of things that you can't control in your life right now. I get it. There's a lot I can't control right now in my life either, but there's a whole lot that I can focus on that I can control. I can control what my mind processes. I can control the relationships that are around me. I can control what goes in my mouth. I can control the body that I have and the way that I utilize it and the way that I preserve it and the way that I keep it strong and healthy and fit. Those are choices that can be made. If you're stuck and struggling and you're making the choice not to do anything about it, it's your own damn fault. It's as simple as that. Like, you know, it's kind of like, think about the Labor Day, right? We kind of take this day off to, you know, celebrate all the labor workers. We have that day off and think of the work. Well, if you aren't doing any work, you kind of don't deserve a Labor Day. And maybe today's the day, like maybe today, 2020, Labor Day, right? What is it? September 7th on Labor Day, 2020 is a day you decide to start to do some labor. Like today is the day that you start to take yourself seriously, your health seriously. Not, hey, don't get me wrong, whatever precautions you need to do to go out in public and wear a mask and wash your hands and sanitize and, you know, stay 6 feet apart. I get all those things, right? Whatever. If that's what you got to do in your prerogative, go ahead and do it. Have at it. But it ain't going to make you healthier. It's not going to make you stronger. If it was, then I'd be wearing a mask and I'd be like at home and I'd have this false sense of feeling stronger and more fit. That's not how it works. You have to take action on it. The reality is, if you want to get your life and your health in order and get healthier, you have to, it's really helpful to thank God you have another day. And then once you thank God for that, right? Thank God that the summer's over and you can move into this next season. You can have another day to try. The only time you fail is when you stop trying. Now, I would suggest that if you're trying and failing and you're doing the same thing over and over, that's the definition of insanity. We all know that already. Stop doing the definition of insanity. Stop doing the same thing over and over and over again, because I know what happens after a holiday weekend. Why I'm being specific about this is I'm actually not thanking God. I'm praising God, please God, and actually praying for God to don't have people go through the same kind of cul-de-sac, the same kind of merry-go-round, because they're gonna throw down over the weekend and they're gonna be all upset with themselves on Tuesday morning, because it's another holiday weekend. You let yourself go. You ate too much food. You drank too much booze. You felt sorry for yourself, and you knew the only thing that you really wanted to control that's going to make you feel good about yourself for a whole 3 minutes is the food that goes in your mouth. And unfortunately, guess what happens? And you may have experienced this before. And I know maybe this is a hard topic to talk about. And maybe you're like, not thank God it's summer's over. Like, thank God maybe all the, now like, oh no, I'm not even thanking God because I got holidays coming up. I know what that means. I got family coming in town, and we got like, you know, between maybe not Halloween so much, but Thanksgiving and then Christmas, and then I get busy, and then it's holiday season and I get depressed because there's a lot of family junk and drama that goes on, and then all with the world all over the place and all going on, and the new, I'll just wait till the new year. And then what happens in the new year? You're already mad and pissed off and disappointed, and you're not thanking God because nothing's changed, because you didn't change, and nothing changes. And then I'll just wait till the new year. That's a pretty bird right there. And I'll just wait till the new year. And see, the birds are telling you, don't wait till the new year. Don't wait till the next season. The next season is in the new year, right? You realize, well, yes, we have fall and winter. So we're going to have the fall now, right? And then we're going to have winter. And it's not time to hunker down. It's not time to go hibernate. It's time to take action. Taking action. Thank God you have the ability and the privilege to take action. But if you're not taking action, I'm going to just highly recommend on this Labor Day, today may be the day that you need to start to labor. Today may be the day to take a little evaluation, a little intake, and saying, you know what? Nothing's happened because I didn't change. And I know I can't. Here's the thing. If you realize you can't do it on your own, I hear this all the time. And then I'm going to end my conversation. This is what I hear all the time. Mark, and I message and talk to people, and I hear this, and it's almost comical now. And this is not to knock anybody, because this is something I hear time and time again. Mark, I know what I need to do. I know I need to. Everybody knows how to eat health for the most part, right? Unless you're really like brainwashed as a child and thinking like a bag of Doritos is a healthy lunch, right? Or a bowl of Fruit Loops is a nutritious breakfast and you're going to get vitamin C in it, right? Like, unless that's your case. But I would say for the most part, you know what to eat. If you're in your 40s and 50s, chances are, and you have any bit of education behind you, you have a high school, college maybe, you know what it takes to eat healthy. You know, if you're overweight, chances are you ate too much. You know that if you're not strong and if your back hurts and your body aches and you feel like 50, it's probably because you either did one of two things. You went way overboard young and you got hurt and injured and then you weren't able to do anything, or you just didn't do anything at all, right? And that's the other option. And then you say, well, I know how to exercise, I know how to work out, and I know how to eat healthy. I just need to do it. And that's usually the excuse why somebody says, no, I don't really need a coach. I know the value of what you do, and, I can invest in it and I can do that, but I don't need it. Well, then my answer to you is go freaking do it. Go do it. Like, go and do it on your own. But then don't go hiding from me when I reach out to you in 3 or 4 months and I say, hey, how's it going? And I would say 99.99999% have not gone anywhere. Because, honestly, the hardest thing is, and I'm not saying everybody needs to rely on just me, but I would say is the value in having a coach and a mentor and the accountability. Like, there's a value there. And there's be some people that realize and they say, thank God there's coaches like me. Like, and I'm not saying I'm the only guy. I know a phenomenal group of coaches that I'm in a group with, colleagues all over the world, all over the planet, doing amazing things. But I'll tell you what, Labor Day, think of like the labor, some of these like I'm going to give praise to these coaches, my colleagues and friends all over the States and in Canada and Europe, Australia and the Netherlands and all over the world, helping people who need help. Like, there's coaches that are ready to help people. There's a lot of people that either feel they can do it on their own, that are just ignoring the fact that they're not doing it on their own. And there's a lot of coaches ready to help. I'm one of them. Now, if you want to see if we're the right fit, send me a message and we'll talk about it. And if we're not the right fit, I have plenty of people that I know, plenty of amazing coaches who would be very qualified to help you if we're not a good fit, because I know I'm not the right fit for everybody. The last thing I'd want is somebody to come in. I'm not going to thank God I get somebody in my program's not the right fit. That's why we do a call. That's why I have you fill out an application. And at the end of the day, I'm ready to help you if you're the right fit. And I know if I'm not the right fit, somebody will be. So thinking about this in Labor Day, as you've listened to this the whole time, and maybe you said, yeah, I don't need to listen to this anymore. Mark talks about the same stuff over and over. Like, why does he do this every single day? Because I know there's still people. So long as there's people that need help, and I know, because we have a number of people in my program that are just crushing goals, losing weight through COVID. Just had somebody share 27 pounds since end of April, since May, 27 pounds. Over this pandemic lockdown and challenges and struggles and family and all that stuff, and lost 27 pounds, which is amazing. And if you're looking at yourself thinking, man, I wish I was that person, you can be. You have to take action, though. You can't just thank God for another day and then do nothing. You got to thank God for another day and then do something about it. And that's all I have for this edition of the Daily Dose. I hope you have an amazing, blessed Labor Day. Maybe you need to relax. Maybe in your time of relaxation, you actually do an inventory and say, what do I want to do in the next 4 months? So you either want to continue in the path you're on, and if you're on an amazing path, have at it, keep at it. Awesome job. Let's knuckle pounds, high fives, keep going, keep getting stronger, keep getting more fit, keep progressing. But if you've been stuck, if you're going backwards, if you're in a tailspin, if you're kind of on lockdown and your body's on lockdown and your mindset's on lockdown, it's time to unlock it. Let's get on a call and talk about it. Reach out to me and we'll see if we're the good fit for each other, and we will help you get to where you need to get. Get this 2020 over. So 2020 in the next 4 months, and 2020 could be the potential best and healthiest year of your life. That's all I got. Take care. We'll see you soon.